Hello there, folks. Chad Remington here, your lead expert reporter of the prestigious Diamond Dynasty League. I'm here with you today to participate in the press conference for Tyler Schaefer, who is the owner, coach, manager of the Matt's second team, fantasy football team. So, with further ado, we'll go walk in the room and start attending this press conference. Hello there, Tyler. Great to be here with you today. How's your day going? Just start things off.
My day has been going quite well. I've been hard at work.
That's great. That's great. Glad to see you putting effort in the team.
Great
It's
to be
really a
here.
real 9 to 5 job. Um, Having a non-ideal start to the season, starting 2-5. Do you still think you'll be able to battle and make the playoffs in the Diamond Conference?
While it may not be the most ideal start, we're certainly doing significantly better than other teams. There's, for example, the Dallas Duddies is got a one less win than I have. And I believe there is another team that is doing significantly worse as well.
So you're just don't want to be last, is what you care about.
Certainly, it would suck to be last. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't think it'd be that bad, but I would either strive for a championship or bust. But it sounds like you just don't want to be last. So
I mean, one of the difficult conversations I need to have is does this team want to do a push this year? And that decision needs to be made very shortly. But if we don't string together a couple W's here in the next couple weeks, then we ride this year out and we go for some good picks in the rookie draft.
fair enough, sir. Given some credit where credit's due, you're coming off a big blowout win against K-Man's footballers last week. I mean, how in the world did you pull that rabbit out of your hat?
Obviously, that kid's trash, and the way he coaches his team, the way he manages his team, absolute garbage. Um, I was never threatened at all.
Shots fired. Um, okay. The
He proposed a trade, and I dangled it in front of him, acting like I was kind of interested, and I strung that along for like 2 weeks. Never was interested.
we shouldn't have trouble getting a headliner for the papers for this. Thank you. Uh, Tua did have quite the game last week. Looks like he had a special connection between a few of the receivers. Which connection do you think was the strongest last week?
Yeah. Disregarding that question, I remember when I was looking at drafting Tua, one of the major headlines was Tua will need to step it up for the next season. And I do want to say I believe he did step it up in that game. That's only the beginning of his momentum here.
Do you think any of any specific receivers have stepped up as well on the team?
Tua has really
If you
found
can
his
name
niche, and he's doing
one or
great.
two, maybe a tight end as well. No.
Yeah, Tua's doing great.
Okay. Hmm. So no special connections between any receivers that you can name.
He's got a special connection with his entire team.
Okay.
Every single one of those guys says that Tua's a leader,
Okay.
natural born leader.
Okay. Going on about receivers. I mean, Amon St. Brown is looking like a young bright spot in your team. What did he?
On Ra St. Brown.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Um,
Being a lead expert in this league, you'd figure you might have
it.
more knowledge than you do.
I call him Amon, but it's we have a
You guys
friendship.
have first name basis.
Yes, I kind of act like I was talking to him. That's my fault. But Amon is looking like a young bright spot. What did you see in him during his college career that made you a fan of his?
Honestly, he really gets out there. He catches the ball, and he's a great rookie for the Lions. And he's got this is rookie season, and he's putting some points on the board already, which is a great sign.
Did you so you just liked his hands?
And his age.
You like the way his hands looked in his age? Is okay.
He gets out there and he moves the ball.
I would think he's a little, on the older side for your liking, but that wasn't a concern.
That's a weird comment by you.
I would think you like receivers that are on the 21 year range is what I was referring to. But okay, sure. You do have a large mix of young and old players on your
Mm,
squad.
yeah,
You really didn't choose a side during the draft to go, all old, all young. What was
yeah.
going through your mind during the entry draft?
Well, I know when you want a couple veterans to show the young guys how to play as a team. Really, you want a couple leaders on the team that have been around the block. They know a thing or two about the game, about the NFL, and they're distributing that knowledge to the younger guys. Then the next generation is going to be the future of the NFL. And if I had a team of only rookies, that knowledge wouldn't be shared.
That's fair enough. You can't hate on that. I think that's a good manager move right there. Do Going off that, you have a lot of older receivers on the team. Are you going to ride them out until they retire? Are you going to maybe trade them off early? Any thoughts about what to do with them?
Don't be silly. Every player is an individual. You gotta see how they play. Some people might retire early. Some people, as long as they're putting points on the board, that's what's important. Chad, you should
Okay.
know that.
Talking about players not putting points on the board. Second-year player Keyshawn Vaughn on your team has really been active for Tampa Bay this year. What type of positivity were you seeing in Keyshawn when when you drafted him?
Honestly, one of the major oversights is the organizational side of this team, and a lot of these guys just get stuck on the payroll, and they get there's massive oversights. We got to get some of these players that aren't performing out of there. And we're going to be taking a closer look at this team in the next couple weeks and making some cuts.
Okay. Why not earlier in the season? Why wait until now? Just trying to feel things out, or
I mean, you never know when a player is going to make a miracle run and hop off that bench and start putting some points on that board. And
okay,
I just
okay.
it's about time that we have that conversation with Keyshawn, and he might be getting traded to a different team or finding himself on the waiver wire.
All right. Well, what did you like? What made you draft Keyshawn though? What
Yeah.
qualities?
Uh, I don't remember. It was so long ago that I there was
Hmm.
something though. It was pretty good.
You think you remember something? Okay. You know.
That was my assistant, Matt. He made that call.
Uh, okay. That's. I think you might be reported to the league with that comment, but we will move on. The Talking about some better performing players on your team. Cooper Cup over here. If you could describe in 3 words what you're seeing out of his play this season, what would those words be?
Consistency, um, fantastic, and aggressive.
Okay, why the aggressive
Because
word
he's
there?
putting in an aggressive amount of points on that board. That's just nasty, Chad. This guy is dunking on other teams, and he's going to continue to do it.
I, the question is more focused around his play, not the points that he's putting on
Yeah,
the board.
he's absolutely putting a shit ton of points on the board.
Do you have anything to say about his play?
He's
He's
catching the ball a lot and getting a lot of touchdowns. He's doing great.
okay. Um, Very descriptive. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rumors swirled earlier in the year uh, that you rejected trading your 6th round pick, where you ended up selecting Tua. Given you could have gotten him around later, you could have gotten additional picks as
All
well.
speculative. You don't know that.
Do, it's 100% confirmed no one would have drafted him till the 7th round.
Did you get confirmation from all the other owners?
I have, yes. My inside
Can
sources have
you
said so.
can you prove that?
Yes, I could, but I will not name my unnamed sources.
I mean, he
The
just dropped a 40 bomb. I do not regret my choice at all.
You don't regret any. You could have acquired additional picks. Do you not regret that at all?
I have no regrets. This team is gonna turn it around, and we're by far better than other teams, including the Dallas Studies that seem to be underperforming and not having much value for future years.
I This interview is about your team, but I do disagree with your statement. But we'll keep going on. Other managers, unnamed sources have been a bit harsh on your QBs, calling them quote unquote trash or quote game managers end quote. What qualities went into your QB evaluation pre-draft?
We definitely drafted our QBs a little late, which kind of had the choices available were scarce. But I wanted Tua because I believed in him and I thought he could turn it around. And I'm hoping that he continues stepping it up and the momentum carries forward. But the QB game is something we could definitely improve on.
You said you were late in the game to take a QB. Were you eyeing any other QBs potentially to take?
Not at the time. I really wanted a young quarterback that I feel like could grow into something for future years as well.
So you weren't interested in, say, let's say Kyler Murray or
I mean, I
Lamar
think Kyler
Jackson
Murray went in round 3.
or
Of course,
Lamar
I was
Jackson.
interested. Of
So you
course, I was interested in those guys. I don't think I had an opportunity to go for them. Chad,
so you would
did he
have
not go to the
rather
draft?
you would have rather had Kyler Murray over Tua as your quarterback?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. So at one point you did.
Perhaps.
Wow. Uh, Everyone is jotting notes down right now. Interesting to see you say that. Moving on, Kamara has been looking pretty good, but the Saints offense hasn't been exactly rolling week to week. What do you think about Sean Payton and how he's handling that offense?
Yeah. Um, I would suggest that they use Kamara more. To be honest, that's one of the big offensive weapons that that team carries, and I feel like he's underutilized. And he's certainly doing work for them right now. But if they gave the ball to Kamara literally every play, I think that they would be unmatched.
Do you have any words for Sean Payton on what he
Kamara,
could is
run the
anything
ball,
un-Kamara related?
run the ball.
Do you think Sean Payton's at his position it's that easy to decide that?
Mm, Um,
Do you know what position he is?
no.
He's the head coach of the team. Is his
Oh
position for the
yeah,
team.
I feel like he would probably be a good person to decide that. Yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay. Uh, you have 6 TEs on the roster. Your second, or sorry, your two most promising tight ends, Knox and Irv Smith, are battling injuries.
Yeah.
Which of your current tight ends shows you the most promise?
I definitely like Ricky Seals Jones. He's pretty solid. But I do like to have quite a few tight ends in my pocket, and that's something that I hope to grow. And I love to have good quality tight ends.
Just a simple question of why so many tight ends.
Um,
6 is quite the number. It's definitely a league leader in that category.
I don't I don't think I have enough, to be honest. If I could trade for a couple more, I would.
So on a scale of let's say 1 to Sir Mix-a-Lot, how much do you like tight ends?
A lot. They scored me a couple points.
A couple points, okay. Um, all right. You have a tough matchup coming up against Lord Swoldemort this upcoming week. What do you think your team needs to do in order to pull out a much-needed win?
I think my team needs to overperform, to be honest with you. If we could get about 130% out of all my players, and his players could do about 85%, I feel like we pull off the dub pretty easily.
Is there anything you're gonna be able to do to make sure his team puts out that 85% that you're looking for?
No, I will root against his team and root for mine.
Okay.
But he's got quite the opponent here, and it's gonna take a lot of luck to beat this guy.
I do agree. Steve's tight ends are overall better looking than yours. Do you really think you'll be able to pull it out?
That man is known for his tight end game, and a lot of people talk about it. But I might be able to rival it.
Will you be able to pull it out?
Travis Kelsey is quite the man. Unsure. We're gonna have to leave it to the game.
It's great to hear. It's great to hear. Anyway, um, I had heard you had better game than that, but anyway, 2 weeks ago, coming out against a frustrating loss against Team Hamsup, the cameras recorded Cooper Cup frustration with a quote. I'm dealing with a shitty QB play on a shitty team. I'm the only good player here. Get out of my face. End quote. Would you like to address the elephant in the room?
No, I would not.
given that there was no punishments, what do you think that says about your ownership or management?
Um, Cooper Cup can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Can any player on your team do whatever they want?
No,
What players cannot do what they would like to do?
the players that are not Cooper Cup.
I might have to look at your rosters.
Please
He
don't.
he is a. There's only a couple. Okay, we're gonna move on. Interesting, very interesting right there. Um, do you think these comments motivated Tua last week at all?
No,
Okay, I would assume that there's a little fire in his stomach, but if you don't think so, th-
he's put up the same performance like 3 weeks in a row. Chad, are
uh,
you? Why are you looking at individual weeks?
are we?
This
We
is
can.
just Cooper Cup at this point. It's not. You should be going out there expecting 30 to 40 points out of this guy.
I was talking about Tua, sir, not a Cooper
Oh,
Cup.
did you say that?
Since the comments were about shitty QB play, I was thinking
Oh,
maybe quarterback, your QB would have been fired up.
yeah, I could see that. I also there was talks about a trade for Deshaun Watson, and I think that might have been why Tua Tagovailoa may have gotten fired up.
Very wise view, and that's a good. You got a good tongue on you there. Uh, I cannot say the last name properly.
Could you give it a shot?
Tua Tagovailoa.
One more shot.
Nope.
One more try for the cameras.
Tua Tagovailoa.
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 There you go.
That sounded pretty good. You got a good tongue. You got some good-looking tight ends. Thank you for this press conference. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Wish I could say the same.
Thank you. Have a great night. Best of luck in your upcoming game.
You as well.
I don't own a team.